are you doing out there? Now, doesn't that word sup sound like stand-up paddleboarding? And let me tell you guys, I was in awe last night when I was browsing through different ads, like through Walmart and whatnot, and I found a paddleboard for under $70. Now, would I trust my life in something that cheap? Probably not. But it is kind of humorous to think that there are even kayaks, like there's like this foldable kayak slash paddleboard for under $50. Now, now as far now as far as what's going on is I've decided to make a part 2 version of why I may have failed as a personal trainer. Now the first version, I was pretty much sounding like a robot. And I may never know why I failed as a personal trainer, but I have 2 hypotheses. One, I was too much like a robot, or the second reason, why I was probably sounding like too much of like my classic blogging style. And if you guys remember me from my old channel, you probably may have remembered some of my blogs where I was like talking really low, monotone, Debbie Downer style. And that may have ultimately been the reason why I did not succeed as a personal trainer. So let's put all this cheap paddleboard and cheap golf clubs aside. Let's figure out exactly what may have been the culprit as to my failings as a personal trainer. So I want you to imagine that I am working at 24-hour fitness and a client's coming in through the front doors. They go up to the front desk. They call me up from the front desk and they say, Donnelly, your 2 o'clock appointment is here. So I go up to the front desk and here we go. Hello, my name is Donnelly. Hello from California. Before I get to any of your comments, it will take me a little bit before I can get to comments because I got to do, I guess, what would be like a little skit to kind of figure out exactly what may have been the ultimate culprit as to why I failed as a trainer. So here we go. Client walks up to me. I'm like, hello, my name is Donnelly. Pleased to meet you. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. I'm going to have you fill out some paperwork. And I'm just going to ask you like 5 questions, like what your goals are, what your diet's like, any previous experience you have with personal training. And then once you fill out that questionnaire, we're going to go out onto the exercise floor, and I'm going to show you a great workout to help you work out on your goals and whatnot. So here's the paperwork. All right, so you filled it out. All right, good job. All right, so I see that you want to lose some weight for your friends winning. Awesome. So what we're going to do now is let's talk a little bit about your diet. Okay, so you say you'd like to drink a lot of Coke, you like to eat a lot of McDonald's. Okay, well, you want to kind of try to stay away from those really fast foods. And you want to maybe stick to more like natural foods, like fruits and vegetables. If you feel like you've got to really rush and get that fast food, maybe have like something on the ready, like a bagel with cream cheese. Oh, why not? Okay, and then, so you want to look good for your friends winning. Well, that's going to involve doing a lot of cardio and a lot of high reps, slow weight. All right, so you're ready to head out onto the exercise floor, and I'm going to show you the first exercise, which is what's called the goblet squat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over a kettlebell. And when you're doing a goblet squat, the thing you want to make sure that you're remembering is you want to keep the kettlebell up to your chest. And when you're squatting down, you want to have chest out, back straight, and you want to squat down to 90 degrees. Come down to 90 degrees, and then come all the way up. Nice and steady. Slow, controlled movements. Don't forget to breathe. You want to breathe out as you're pushing up. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, you ready? All right, go ahead and grab the kettlebell. All right, 1, 2, you're going to do 10 reps. Good job, good job, good job. All right, good job. How'd that feel? All right, next exercise, the lunge. Now with the lunge, pretty straightforward exercise. All you're going to do is come out like that, step up, alternate, make sure that your knee gets to about 1 inch above the ground. You don't want to be tapping your knee on the ground. Have your knee about 1 inch off the ground. Back straight, chest out. All right, ready? 10. All right, 1, 2. Don't forget to breathe. Good job. All right. So the last exercise I'm going to show you is hamstring curls. So what I'm going to have you do is get on that TRX rack over there, put your feet in there, and you want to curl. You want to really feel that burning right back here. All right, ready, get set. Dude, I want you to do 15. Good, good. Good job. What did you think of that workout? Pretty awesome, huh? All right. Well, let's go back to the back area. I'm going to show you some, I'm going to give you a free training plan for the week. And what we can do is I'm going to show you some options. And I know they're very expensive. And yeah, but really, I want to really see you I want to see you achieve your goals. And I want to have you feel good for your friend's wedding. So are you ready to get started today? So that's where it became really challenging, to try to sell training packages that were as much as $2,000. I kid you not. Here I am getting paid minimum wage. The only time I would actually be paid anything above minimum wage was when I was actually training a client. You did get commission. I think it was like 15 to 20%. But you got to think, what difference really is there when you're trying to sell a training package that's valued at $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 for a training package, or you're trying to get these clients to spend upwards of $400, no, what was it, like $200 a month, $400 a month. You are talking car payment amount there. You might as well just be a car salesman if you want to be a personal trainer and be just like, all right, well, I think you look good for this training program. Let's go for you just test drove my training program out. You ready to spend $1,500 to improve on your life? Or another client comes in. I know it's very expensive, but what did you think of that test drive, that training program I showed you? All right, you ready to spend $2,500 on a training program? That's the challenges of being a personal trainer. It's hustle and bustle. And I could not even hustle my way out of a paper bag to save my life when it comes to personal training, because that's essentially what that job's all about. I mean, you're a hustler. It's, as my stepdad would say, it's like, yeah, you're a hustler for life if you're going to work. Now, I don't know, personal training in a non-commercial gym setting is the same way, but in a commercial gym setting, it's hustle and bustle time. And if you don't make it, well, guess what? You are going to be going to Walmart. You are going to be looking for those $50 set of golf clubs, that $70 paddleboard, that $150 bicycle. And I have to wonder, guys, I shop at Fred Meyer, and there's like Kroger. Kroger is like, I think it's a popular brand, but I think it's a cheaper brand. And I'm wondering how soon before Kroger comes out with their own line of sporting equipment. Can you imagine that? Kroger coming out with their own sporting equipment line? It's going to happen, guys. Kroger is going to come out with like their own bikes, their own set of golf clubs, stand-up paddle boards. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, let's see. All right. Okay. Texas. From Barcelona, I've got Francis V from Barcelona. From Ohio, Ryan Bird. Love your Vic. Yeah, right. So, to be a good personal trainer, well, and I can't believe I had this door open here. Oh, I had my freaking room door open. To be a good personal trainer, my advice is you've got to be really flamboyant. I mean, like, you've got to be like, hey, how's it going? You ready to shed those pounds? You ready to achieve those goals? Are you ready to kind of get in tune with your body and just be able to like climb up those flight of steps with ease? But that's the easy part. The hard part is you've got to be able to make the sale. And I recommend that if anyone wants to be a personal trainer, you take a class on sales and you try working as a used car salesman. I kid you not. If you want to be an excellent personal trainer and make the big bucks, not only do you need that and I don't mean this like any kind of flamboyant personality. You need like a movie star personality. I mean, that's how intense it is. And then I recommend that you apply for a job as a used car salesman at any of your local car lots to get that experience making sales, to be able to close that deal. Because personal training at a commercial gym, the number one thing that's going to keep you afloat, closing the deal. That's pretty much it. That's hands down. If you can close a deal, you've got clients. If you can't close a deal, your ship is going to sink, and you're pretty much out of luck. And yeah, my ship sunk, so that's pretty much what happened. All right, so that's what it takes to be a personal trainer. Okay, it looks like I've got some comments here. I got someone from Ireland. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, they've already. Yeah, so I'm reading here that someone's mentioning that. Yeah, a lot of the muscular guys and people that are already fit, they're not going to be looking for trainers. And that's the thing. When I was a personal trainer at the gym, they would be having me like, if you want to get clients, you've got to go up to like anyone at the gym. It doesn't matter if they're jacked. It doesn't matter if they're doing like 12 miles an hour on like a 12 mile an hour pace in a treadmill. You've got to go up to them and sell yourself. It's like, no, I'm not going to try to sell myself to someone that's already knows what they're doing. Let's see. I've got, who else have I got here? Let's see, I got someone from New Jersey, British Columbia, Ireland, Utah, New Jersey. All right, and Arlington, Virginia. So, while I'm at it, I'm going to set this back down over here. And so, when it comes to personal training, now, if you watched my original video on why I failed to be a personal trainer, well, just kind of a quick little recap. So you just saw like a really low monotone voice. Now let's kind of go to what may have been the other culprit, and that is like the robotic sound. So let's do a different exercises. So let's say I'm showing my client how to do bicep curls using a band here. I'll be like, all right, say, go ahead, grab this thing, this red band, and what you're going to do is you're just going to stand straight. You stand nice and straight, feet shoulder width apart, ready, and you're just going to curl like that. Up, down, up, down. You ready to go? All right, ready? Begin. Do a set of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. All right. What do you think of that? You really feel your biceps getting a good burn? Good. That's exactly what we want you to do. All right. So what did you think of that workout? Pretty awesome, huh? All right, we're going to come back. So that was my robotic sounding, perhaps my theory. So 2 theories. Either I sounded too much like a robot, or I sounded like one of my classic blogging videos. And to kind of give you an idea what I sounded like in one of my blogging videos from the past, I think there was the one that I was really cracking up about. It was one where I was like kind of sitting out in my back porch area, and I just started laughing uncontrollably. Now, that was in reference to a video that I had made about social anxiety and something about like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was wearing a yellow tank top, bright yellow. I had yellow, it was like a bright orange yellow tank top, and my pant, no, wait a sec. I think it was just my tank top that was yellow, or maybe, now I can't remember, but it was a full-on, like, pure stringer tank top. I was like, even bodybuilders don't typically wear that kind of tank top. Now, like the one you saw me wearing at the gym when I did like my 1RM bench press, now that was a stringer, but I'm talking like even more stringer-like. That's how stringer-like the tank top was when I made this old video. And see if I got something else here. See if I got any other comments here. All right, thank you, Clara Malloy, for the compliment there. Greetings. I've got people from Louisiana and Spain. All right. So yeah, personal training. I don't know. It's something I don't know if I'd want to do as my standalone career field, because here's the thing. Personal training requires you to pretty much have a healthy body. Now, of course, you would think, well, am I not healthy by all the physical activity I do? True. But let's say I'm going on some ski adventure and I feel like really getting after it. And I'm like, this 15-foot cornice looks nice and whatnot. I shouldn't probably say that. That might give me bad luck. So let's go back to like, say I'm skiing at a ski area. It's a crowded weekend day. I have no choice but to ski like on a Saturday. Super crowded. My job is a personal trainer, and I'm skiing down the hill, and somehow I get into like a major collision. You know, whether I have to avoid someone, and maybe I hit it. Maybe like I end up hitting a tree or something, and I break both my legs. Well, what's going to happen if I break both my legs? I'm not going to be able to train anyone because I'm not going to be mobile enough to be able to show them how to do squats, lunges, or let's say I fall down somehow. Let's say I'm cycling. Here's a classic example: cycling. A common injury when it comes to cycling are collarbones, fractured collarbones, clavicles. What's going to happen if I fracture a clavicle during some cycling ride or some cycling race and I'm not able to do my personal training job? That's why I'm really keen on wanting to get into programming and like this data analytics, because I figure if I break both my legs and break an arm and rupture a spleen, maybe get a little head injury, severe cuts and bruises, broken ankle, fractured hip, and I'm just like confined to a wheelchair, all I would have to do is have my computer on my chest like that and just be able to type like this. All right, got to make sure that, okay, does my program really run? Okay, good. And even then I can just kind of type like this. So that's the big thing. It's having that security that if I seriously hit the crapper in one of my outdoor activities, I'm not going to be out of work. And that's peace of mind right there. Now, personal training as a side gig, now that's a little different because I'm not relying on that 100% to keep me afloat. So maybe as a side gig, yes. As a full-time gig, probably not the smartest idea, because I do like to kind of take some risks when I'm skiing or cycling and whatnot. So it's kind of like part of being charismatic, I feel like, doesn't necessarily mean I've got to like take excessive risks, but it is kind of who I am. I mean, it's like when I go skiing, I kind of like to push the limits a little bit. That's just kind of like how I get my enjoyment and whatnot. So let me catch up on some comments. All right. See comments here. All right. Get some from Mike Subs here. Just making sure. Trying to. Yeah. So yeah. Someone's saying, if this guy hasn't found friends yet, I'm doomed, from Ruben Rai. Someone has Isaiah Moore, haven't been skiing in nearly 20 years. I really, so yeah, like, let's see. Yeah, I became a personal trainer to train to be a used. Now that's an interesting take on it. Being a personal trainer to train yourself to be a used car salesman. That actually might work. Now, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how hard that hard of a lifestyle is, but maybe it's along the lines of being a real estate agent, and I know that involves a lot of sales. But yeah, for instance, I used to snowboard with this guy, and he claims, he even told me like more than a few times that he has this claim that he taught Eddie Vedder, the lead singer of Pearl Jam, how to snowboard. I kid you not. This guy I snowboarded with says that he actually taught Eddie Vedder to snowboard. Now, being that he is really successful in real estate, selling $1 million homes, and I mean, he's making bank, I actually do believe him. I believe that he did teach the lead singer of Pearl Jam to snowboard. And he's also a pretty dang good snowboarder himself. I think he places like in the top 3 in a lot of the bank slaloms he does. So he's a really good snowboarder. So it goes to show that you do need that certain kind of pizzazz to be able to make it in sales. And not just like any kind of charismatic personality, but I mean, you need that kind of certain spark. So, and it's not just personal training. It's in car sales, selling houses, anything that has to do with sales. Now, there's another career field that I think would be kind of interesting, is like a marketing director. I think that's maybe more along my lines as well, because marketing, you're having to do like analytics, figuring out like what's going to draw in like ticket sales, or like how many visits we get, or how can we attract more visits. I've read into that, and marketing is more like a little bit more on the analytics side. So that would be a little more in lines of like what I feel like I would enjoy doing, but not so much like the actual full-on sales. Okay, so let's see, who else am I missing here? Do you know about okay, yeah, I don't like this black pill ideology. I know there's like this red pill, green pill, blue pill, black pill ideology. I stay away from that. And the reason why that is I feel like that can really lead you down a dark path. And so I stay away from any of those ideologies, themes. It's like if there's anything that should be made, a pill that should be made, it should be the yellow pill, which is meaning like you can retract yourself from like those dark, from going down the dark path. Eat that yellow pill, meaning like it all comes down to attitude. And I'm gonna make a standalone video that's gonna be really counterintuitive to like my original video from 2 months ago that seems to be getting like the most views. It was like being ugly, 46 years old, and having no friends. Now, it's going to be counterintuitive, but it's going to be something along the lines, and this is going to be a standalone video. It's going to be like being ugly, embracing the ugliness. Now you're thinking, what the hell am I talking about? Wait a sec, being ugly but embracing it. Now I'll kind of give you guys a little preview of what it's going to entail, because let's face it, you know, you've got to learn to accept where you are as far as looks, your age, because believe it or not, I've been watching some YouTube channels of people that that inspire me. It's like, wait a sec, I've got it pretty good compared to a lot of people out there. I mean, they're missing limbs. They've got like they've got full-on disabilities. They've got like their facial burns. I mean, like, what would be defined as like truly being like less than attractive? But yet these people have a significant other in their life. And there's this one particular channel I've been following, and it's like, okay, this just goes to show that you can be completely disabled and still have a woman, like a fully able woman in your life, but yet the man is completely like disabled. And the reason why that is personality, attitude. One of the comments I got in my original ugly video was, he mentioned something about like attitude. Now it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to wake up all of a sudden tomorrow and be like, oh, all right, I'm ready to. It's going to take, a little bit of time, but it's counterintuitive in my thinking. So I've got to look at it this way. Is I got to be like, yeah, I love being ugly. I love my big nose. I love being like called like, I remember, and like I gotta be able to joke about it. It's like, yeah, I look back on those days when I used to work as a pizza delivery driver. And one of my coworkers, whenever he got in an argument, he'd be like, "No, that's my delivery, Pinocchio." Or whenever he came into work, he'd be like, "What's up there, Pinocchio?" And I just gotta be like, "Oh, well, hell, I mean, I wouldn't mind being." I gotta look at it this way. Hell, that might actually be a cool character to play in a movie, Pinocchio. That means you wouldn't be able to lie, because every time you lied, your nose would get bigger. So I guess I look at it this way. Well, if I'm going to be called Pinocchio, well, I guess it means I better not lie because I'm going to get caught. Or maybe people used to call me Big Nose. I just got to be like, well, maybe I've just got a little bit of that Italian nose in me. Or what's another one? Rat Boy. Oh, Rat Boy. That was like my nickname skiing at Alpental. Rat Boy. So let me slow down my speech here. I think I'm starting to talk a little too fast here. Rat Boy. If any of you are watching this and that know me from Alpental ski area, I really want to know where that nickname of mine originated from. I am dying to know, because not that it's going to offend me, but I'm dying to know how or who came up with that nickname of mine, Rat Boy, because I can only assume maybe it's because I had raccoon eyes from all the skiing I did or whatnot, but I am curious to find out where that nickname Rat Boy came from. And not that it's going to hurt me or anything, because now I think there's a run on the opposite side of Alpental, and supposedly I guess I was like the second person to ever ski it, and so now it's referred to as Rat Ramp. And so people will be like, oh yeah, did you hear someone skied the Rat Ramp a couple of days ago? So see, that's what I mean. I've got to embrace my flaws, and it's counterintuitive. Or what's another one someone mentioned? Go out there and get rejected. Like, intentionally go out there and be like, okay, I'm going to go to this hiking group and just go out there and be like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and just try to go get myself rejected intentionally. Now, it doesn't mean go out there and be, a jerk or whatnot. It just means like kind of being like super relaxed. I just be like, okay, whatever happens, happens. If I get rejected, so what? It's almost being so relaxed that you get completely out of your head and you just let things happen as they would. And it's like I said, it's counterintuitive to think, oh, so maybe that's kind of the logic in my thinking, is a lot of what I need to do is really counterintuitive to what I've been accustomed to. So like thinking like, all right, well, maybe I'm not the most attractive guy out there, but I've got to embrace that, because like I said, there are people out there that have a lot worse issues than I do. So it's learning to embrace your flaws. And I know that's something I'm kind of like learning to kind of do myself, because I do get in some of my other videos, like the being ugly one. What was the other one I made? The day to day life of being, having no friends and whatnot. And people pick up on that. Now, it's one thing to be vulnerable. It doesn't mean like, oh, I just need to like all of a sudden go out there and fake it. But you do want to be positive, like say 75% of the time, and not fake it. I mean, like you want to be authentic about it. And if you've got to let some feelings out, maybe like 25% should be like kind of letting those feelings out, being vulnerable, but not making yourself a big target, if that makes any sense. And I think I'm getting quite a few comments here. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so I know I'm getting some. I know I'm getting some comments here, but like, yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with kind of being counterintuitive in my thinking and not over not overthinking things too much. Yeah, so it says like I'm getting like someone. I don't think embracing your looks is going to help. It sounds like a cope. Well, it's more of so like not like using it as an excuse. Might be the more technical. Might be the more better way to what I mean to say. Thank you for. Someone says I've got nice eyes. Yeah, can't. Let's see. Some of these are I think are you guys interacting with one another. Yeah. So see, someone's mentioning putting myself down. That's people. It's one thing to be vulnerable, but yeah, you don't want to be. I shouldn't be putting myself down because people are not going to want to be around someone that's always putting themselves down. Now, of course, like I said, you want to be. It helps to be vulnerable, but not all the time. Meaning, like, I'm not going to go on some hike and then be like talking about like my depression and anxiety like 50, 75% of the time. Otherwise, people are going to be like, hell, I don't want to hike with this guy. He's always down on himself. It's like, I need someone to help pick me up. So it's a learning experience and whatnot. Uh, and let's see, I'm just trying to see if I see about getting through all these different comments here. All right, all right. So I'm just trying to make sure I got. Yeah, I get someone mentioning here. They get a lot of times a person's going to see the aspects of themselves that they see like that are dissatisfying, and that I guess that's a tendency for a few of us or a lot of us is that we tend to overlook the things that we find are our flaws, and we fail to kind of look at our positive attributes, and so that it's one of those things that does take a lot of skills. No, I shouldn't say skills. It's just I'm starting to lose my train of thought here, but pretty much what I'm gathering from like the comments I'm getting, not just from this video, but from like my other videos, is a lot of it's attitude, a lot of it's like not putting yourself down, a lot of and it's just being able to go out there and just put myself out there because it's not gonna come to me like in a silver platter. It's stepping out of my comfort zone, not overthinking things, and just kind of like going with the flow, like almost being like super relaxed. So uh, let's see. So I'm getting a lot of comments here. So yes, someone's asking me, am I ethnically Colombian? I am half Colombian. My mom is from Colombia. She was born in Colombia. So pretty much all my mom's side of the family is Colombian. There may be some uh, Spaniards in there as well, but yes, I'm essentially half Colombian. My dad's side of the family is Italian, German. So yeah, I'm pretty much half Italian. I mean, maybe like partly Italian, half Colombian, and I'm not sure exactly what else my dad's side consists of, but I've got someone coming in from Norway, and I know I'm not gonna. I know there's probably gonna be comments I missed on here. Yeah, so someone mentioned here, don't even talk about your looks. Yeah, so that's the thing. Talk. Maybe that's probably a bad idea. Maybe I should do something like, yeah, yeah. Don't talk about. Yeah, that's probably good because even if you talk about your looks, that's showing that you're overly self-conscious about them, and so that's probably not a good idea either. So let's see. Okay, yeah. So Interesting question here. I got someone saying, did I fail as a personal trainer or did I not realize it was just not for me? I think it was more the fact that the reason why I probably did not, it's, I think it wasn't for me as far as like a commercial gym setting goes. Personal training in a commercial gym setting, it's like I said, it's a lot of hustling. And that's not the kind of life I want to live because, for one, you're pretty much training clients when everyone else would be like doing their activity. Like for instance, all these group hikes that I'm doing, they're either weeknights or on the weekends. As a personal trainer, you're working during that time, so it's like in all actual in all actuality, for me to go out there, meet new people, a typical Monday through Friday job is probably the best way to go because you figure most people have weekends off. Maybe a handful get like a couple days off during the week, but for the most part, it's weekends off, evenings free. So it's like, it's not, it's for me to, yeah. I used to think that like, oh, I don't want to work a Monday through Friday job and have weekends, but if I want to meet people, pretty much that's probably the for now. That's like the ideal way to go. It's Monday through Friday. So, who else am I getting? See, what else is here? All right, Earth Wisdom. Thank you, Earth Wisdom. Was a social part of being a trainer hard? Yes and no. I think it depended on what the client was trying to achieve. And of course, like I mentioned, the hardest part was trying to actually like sell them the training package. But the actual social aspect of training wasn't that difficult. It was more so trying to like convince them of how to achieve their goals, and then of course trying to sell them on a training package. Let's see, I got a interesting comment here. All right, so I've got someone, Isaiah Moore. All right, so he's giving me some encouraging. Oops, cancel. I want to make sure I don't end this because I know I'm getting some interesting comments here, and I can't. Oh, I like that. I'm predicting 1 million followers in the next 6 months. Well, that would be interesting. 1 million followers. Well, at that point, I wouldn't necessarily need to worry about, you know, sending out applications and whatnot. Now, the thought, I did watch a video the other night on how someone, kind of like in a similar situation I was, like thinking, my goal is to be a professional YouTuber and whatnot, and how his channel, it took him like 4 months to get like to 100 subscribers, almost very similar to my channel. I think my old channel, I think I had up to like 2,000 subscribers in my old channel, but then I took that channel down, and then I started my new channel, I think in 2014, and I think I got up to like 30 subscribers in like a matter of a couple of weeks. Then it took me like a few months to break 100, and then a few years. I think it wasn't until like last year when I actually broke 1,000. So it's tough to say, but being a full-time YouTuber, well, that would make me more inclined to actually like learn like how to do video editing, getting like the software to do editing, getting myself a more expensive phone, better quality, actually like go on trips and whatnot, do live streamings from like different areas. So there are perks to it with it, but it's not something like I'm going to be like, oh, it's going to happen. Well, I shouldn't say that. What's the best way to say that? It's like, if it happens, kudos, you know, it's like, that'd be awesome. But right now, it's like, I got to be thankful with what I've got, what's happening now. So it's like being in the present, being thankful for what my channel has become as of now. That's what I got to be thankful for. Anything above this, it's like adding gravy to a delicious dish. If it happens, all the better. So I just got to kind of take it in stride, because I feel like doing these streams kind of help to kind of portray what I would be like as a real person if, say, you were to meet me, like, say, working out, or maybe meet me on a hike. You're getting to know who I am as a person. You'll notice that sometimes I do get a little anxious. I'll start speaking really fast, and I might start doing certain hand gestures and whatnot. And that's just part of social anxiety kind of creeping into me when I start maybe speaking a little too fast, or sometimes I'll overcorrect and speak a little too slow. So, yeah, I mean, there is a little anxiety when doing these live streamings. I'm not gonna lie. There's always a little bit of anxiety, but I feel like that's actually not my greatest weakness as far as like socializing and communicating with others, because I actually do like to give speeches, give presentations. It's more so the hardest part when it comes to socializing is how to engage in small talk when I'm like in a big group of people. So like there'll be like one conversation like in one corner of the table, another conversation in this corner, and it's like how can I contribute to like which conversation? I think that's what I have the most difficulty with. Not so much going up to someone and be like, "Hey, how's your day going? You stop here often for coffee?" Or maybe I see someone at the store. It's like, "Oh, yeah, they don't seem to have any good bananas here today. They all seem to be bruised." That's not necessarily my biggest difficulty. It's more so in big groups of people that I have my difficulty. Yeah, looks like I've got 64 people right now, and it fluctuates. Usually, it will fluctuate between. I know in my first live streaming video, I think I had up to like 89 people at one point. Let's see what else is on here, and I think it depends. Oh, so I'm up to 66 now. Someone mentioning I'm Italian. That's an interesting combination. Italian and Colombian. Italian. Who came up with that? Let me see if I can find out who came up with that. Where is that? Yeah, B-Rad came up with Italian. Yeah, oh, talking about masks. I'm so glad for the. It feels good to like actually be able to go to places and not have to wear a mask. Now, I kind of, it depends on the situation. Like, if I'm going in there and I see a lot of people with masks and I put my mask on, just because I feel like it's kind of like it's the right, it feels like it's the right thing to do in certain occasion, at times. But for the most part, whenever I go places, they're usually pretty empty and whatnot. But yeah, I'm just ready for like this whole mask thing, the social distancing thing, to be, done and over with. Because it's like I'm really curious what's going to happen. Like Washington State is basically supposed to be fully opening on June 30th. That's when the state fully opens. So I'm really curious to see what happens. And so now here's an interesting thing. I guess this Thursday I've got a conundrum that I got to kind of figure out. So my two options are either go on a group hike that has 13 people in it, or I just got a text, I believe it was from my former professor, saying Thirsty Thursdays. Now, Thirsty Thursdays is something that we used to do a couple years back, where like a bunch of us alumni and my college professor and like current students would pretty much go to like a brewery in Bellingham and just kind of like have a couple of drinks, and we called it Thirsty Thursdays. So now I've got to decide, do I want to do this group hike, this sunset hike, or do I want to do this Thirsty Thursday? So kind of a tough decision right there, but I'm thinking it might be a good idea that hiking's going to be around. Maybe this Thirsty Thursday might not occur again. So one of those things I have to consider and make a decision on pretty quick here. Yeah, Thirsty Thursday. All right. Nah, well, if I don't drive, here's the thing. Since it is in Bellingham, and if it's within walking distance, yeah, it's kind of pointless for me to drive over there, and that's just very easy. I can maybe have 3 or 4 drinks, call an Uber, and easy as that. So more than likely, I'm not going. If I do Thirsty Thursday, I'm not going to drive to the event. I'm just going to be like, all right, walk, because it's like maybe a 2 to 3 mile walk. Have a few drinks, and then call myself an Uber, and call it an evening. So that's because if anything happens in Bellingham, I see it really pointless for me to drive, because then it's like I'm limited to like having only like 1 beer, maybe 2 over like a 2 to 3 hour period. I get really paranoid when it comes to like drinking, and I know I'm going to be driving, so pretty much I limit it to 1 drink on pretty much almost all occasions. But if I know I'm not going to be driving, that's when I like to have a little fun, maybe get a little buzz going. But that's only if I know I'm not going to be driving. Okay. All right. So looks like I got some comments here. Thursday. Yeah, Yeah, I got. Do you have Greg Doucette cookbook? No. Yeah, let's see. I got Thursday. I'm just trying. I'm looking through all like the comments here. Something about a cookbook. Yeah, I think. Well, like I said, I'm not going to be able to get to every single comment here. All right. I think I got why. Someone asking me why am I moving? Well, the reason for moving is a lot of the hikes I've been doing, over 90% of them seem to be along the I-90 corridor. And right now, for each hike I do, I spend around $25 to $35 in gas to do one of these hikes because it's about almost a 2 hour drive. And I figure it's like, okay, if I want to put myself out there, it's kind of like a small sacrifice to kind of like, okay, it's putting miles onto my car, it's kind of increasing my gas bill a little bit, but at the same time, I'm putting myself out there, I'm meeting new people, and so I figured by moving south where more of the action's at, I'm going to be cutting down on my gas bill. There's more opportunity for carpooling, organizing hikes down there. Bellingham, there's a few people from the hiking group up here, but they seem to kind of got like their smaller social circle already established, and so there's not too much action up here. People that any group hikes that are scheduled up here usually end up getting canceled due to lack of interest. So I feel like in my best interest, moving south is going to put me closer to like where more action is. It's going to be where all the potential job opportunities are at and whatnot. So that's kind of my reasoning for moving south. Now, of course, I still do have 2 months, 2.5 months up here in Bellingham. So who knows what can happen over these next 2.5 months? Maybe something miraculous might happen. Who knows? So that's kind of my reasoning for moving. Let's see what else got up here. Let's see. I'm all right. Where am I? No, I'm. Someone was asking, am I going to Texas or Florida? No, I'm going to pretty much try to stay in the state of Washington. And the reason why that is there's very few areas that I can think of, even though people will suggest to me like Texas, Florida, Tennessee. I think I've even gotten suggestions over like Michigan, Pennsylvania, but I feel like part of me, it's like, where else, like, it's like you've got the hiking, the skiing. I feel like a lot of that kind of defines who I am as a person, like that adventurous side of me. And like Florida, yeah, I lived there for 4 years, but there's really nowhere to really hike down in Florida. There's no skiing in Florida. The highest point is like, I think like 350 feet above sea level. Nothing too spectacular. I actually visited the highest point in Florida thinking that it would be like some kind of mountain. It's really not even a mountain. I think it's just like a roller. You just like drive along this road. There's like a pull out and it says like, yeah, welcome to the highest point in Florida. And it's pretty uneventful. The hikes here seem to be now, it's like, yeah, it's more than likely I would want to stay in a state. Other states that I would consider maybe would be Colorado, Utah, or maybe Idaho. But for the most part, I kind of want to be in an area where there's a lot of mountains, where I can at least have access to skiing year round, good hikes, good cycling. So that's kind of where I'm at as far as like a big move goes. And looks like I got some people are interacting here with one another. That's good to see. Yeah, so yeah, become a Florida man. Yeah, Florida is actually, well, Florida is flat per se, but it does have some very gently rolling hills. What I mean by gently is if you ever go on a bike ride, you will notice some incline in parts. Even in Pensacola, outside of Pensacola, I remember going on a few group cycling rides, and there were some parts of the ride where it's like I felt like I was having to put in some effort, and I'm like, dang, this has got like some 1 or 2% gradient to it. And of course, when you live in Florida, any kind of gradient's going to seem a little difficult. But yeah, for the most part, Florida is pretty much flat. But yeah, there are hills in Florida, but they would be considered gently rolling at best. And I do recall this one particular small hill. I think it was in Tallahassee. I went to the springs. I think it was called Wakala Springs. I can't remember the name of it, but there was this one hill, and I'm like thinking, how fun would this be to actually like inline skate down or ride my bike down? And I'm like thinking maybe I could hit 80 kilometers an hour going down that hill. But that's about the only hill that I could think of in Florida had that had any kind of spark to it. All right, so uh, I got a comment here. Yes, a shout out. Someone's asking me to give a shout out to crypto. What's his name here? I lost a chat here. Shout out to A ANKR coin cryptocurrency. So someone was asking me to give a shout out to him. Who else am I missing here? I think I'm gonna cut this short here in a little bit. Oh, come to BC. Lots of mountain and places to hike. Yeah, well, as soon as if they ever open up if they ever open up the Canadian border, I would like to go up there and do some hiking and some cycling and whatnot. But it's like freaking A, they gotta hurry up and open up this border. It's like, come on, guys, open up the border, let people go up into Canada, or let the Canadians come down here. It's not to mention, it would help our economy too. It's like hurry up and open up the borders. And so, like, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good hiking up in the BC area, but I can't access it right now. And yeah, now, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I've got some of these dating apps that I'm using. What is it? A lot of the matches that I get are actually from like Canadian women, like Abbotsford. I think is a popular spot. That's where I seem to get like a lot of like these potential matches are from like the Abbotsford area of BC. Don't know if any of you. I'm sure those of you up in the BC area probably are familiar with Abbotsford, but that's where it seems like a lot of like the matches are. Not so much Bellingham, but actually in Canada. So maybe it's like maybe I need to go venture into Vancouver, Canada at some point. All right. Yeah, I've only driven through Abbotsford. Haven't really visited there. What's another spot in Canada? Surrey, Canada. I think that's like close to Vancouver as well. Someone else. I got some. All right. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Let's see. I got some. Okay, I got a comment here. Okay, so let's see. Uh, yes, I got. See. That's okay. Yeah, that's just a troll. That's a troll comment there. I'm not going to respond to that. That's a full on troll right there. I'm not gonna let that phase me. That's just how it is. All right. So let's see. Who is that? Yeah, I see that. I saw that comment, but I'm not gonna say anything. It's like I figured troll. That's all part of blogging. That's part of the game. You're gonna you're gonna have trolls. So and trolls will love to pick up any vulnerabilities you have. So don't feed the trolls. That's what I've learned. Don't feed them. Ignore them. Move along. All right. So what else? Yeah. Let's see. What else I got on here? Sometimes trolls just kind of like humor me. I'll have to say that. It's like what they do. See what the mentality is. They what I find is like they kind of like if you make a specific if you like mention a specific flaw, they'll agree with it. So yeah, the best thing to do is to move on, put them aside because that's all part of blogging. You're always gonna get your haters. That's part of the game. It's like you got the good and the bad. All right, thank you for yeah. See, I like yeah that yeah. Just I'm just laughing because it's like hey, I mean I look at it this way. Hey, thanks for what if they're gonna troll my channel. Hey, thanks for tuning in and joining the live stream. So go on ahead, keep on trolling because do what you gotta do. But hey, at least you're watching. So let's see. We got any more comments here? I think this is gonna do it for now. I think I tend to kind of lose my spunk after a while just kind of like need to reset myself a little bit. Let's see. All right, so yeah, looks like I'm gonna close this out in a couple minutes here, but I just kind of want to thank all of you for joining in. Uh, yep, let the haters hate. That's for sure. Thank you, Ellen Oakland, Ultra Dude, FRT Loopy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna close it on out here. Thank you all for joining in. You know, haters, encouragers, supporters, whoever you may be, thank you all for continued in your support and to continue to follow along on my journey. I'm going to close it out here. So long to everyone. And thank you for joining in as I kind of went over part 2 of why I may have failed as a personal trainer. So kudos and love to all of you out there. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So long. Signing off for now. Thank you all once again. Peace out.